Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon, and I wanted to do a quick reading. Today I was offering spirit readings for $10, and I didn't have anybody that wanted to get one, and I was a little bit bummed out about that because I really wanted to deliver the messages from spirit to you guys. But there is going to be spirit readings available in the shop, so that's going to be opening up in just a couple more hours, so I'm really excited for that. But I figured, because tonight is such a special night and it is the time where the veil is super thin and spirit is around, I really wanted to do a reading for myself. And so I figured I'm gonna film it because I want to remember this moment. And I feel really inclined to connect with my grandmother, and so I'm really just trying to tap into asking her to please be present. And I do feel she's present with me right now. I do feel if it's not her, then it's somebody or something else. But let me just go through what I have on the table here. So the book right here that I have, this has the spread that I'm gonna be using. It's a spread called Tapping into the Grave. I have a larger version of this reading available in my shop, but I'm gonna do the mini version, which is just 5 cards. The larger version, I believe, is 10 cards. Yes, it's 10 cards. So this is just the half size. And here I have my Virgin Mary candle, and I always light my Virgin Mary candle when I am in prayer or when I am contacting my grandmother, because I was told in a reading that my grandmother confirmed that, Mama Mary was with me always. And Mama Mary is one of my, I like to think of her as not only just the amazing mother of God, but one of my angels, one of my followers who helps me and protects me, as well as my grandmother, who I do feel does protect me as well. I have a beautiful rosary here that I always use in photographs, and I just feel like the rosary is just so symbolic. My grandmother's name is Rosa, goes by Rose also. So I have a dried rose here, a rosary. You can kind of get the hint. I have rose herbs inside the candle. And then I also made a Gardenia Solar Burst spell oil that is available in my shop. This is the first batch that I ever made. And so this has gardenia scent, which is my grandmother's favorite scent. And I just feel that I was very inspired to create this spell oil because of her. So that is present, and I'm going to anoint the deck with the spell oil because I want to just infuse her energy and just the energy of being inspired by her into this reading. I have a couple crystals, so I have onyx, my onyx skull, and he's here specifically for the purpose of just sucking out the negative energy, because there is no negative energy that I want present in this reading. And I have spell blend from a witch that I purchased other spell blends from, and she gave me this as an added little bonus. And there is dried rose in here. So what I wanted to do was sprinkle this in the candle, as I have the intention of I ask for my grandmother. I ask you to please be present in this reading, and I ask you please, deliver messages that you would like me to have, and speak to me through the cards. And I ask my guardian angels and angels present, protection. And thank you so much for the protection and the blessings that you bestow on my life and the life of my husband, us together. And I would just like to thank you for all of the things that you've blessed us with. And Grandma, if you are there, which I know you are, please deliver a message to me that you feel I need to know. So I'm going to get started, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the cards a few times until I feel comfortable, and then I'm going to get started with the reading. And I feel called to use the Witch's Tarot, so that is what I'm going to be using for this reading. And I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous to do this reading being filmed, because I'm sure you guys have heard me say it before, but I am usually not the greatest reader when it comes to reading for myself. I usually like go through it real fast and I don't really sit and think about it. So I'm just hoping that whatever comes through these cards will come through, you know, with ease, and that my grandmother will just, you know, deliver the reading for me. And just do it one more time. I could smell the gardenia as I shuffle because I anointed the cards. Okay, so let's start. Number one, who is coming through? And I received the Two of Swords. So who is coming through? This gives me the reminder that I have always been very, very blocked and very guarded. And this is very true. So the Two of Swords coming as like being blocked and guarded. I think my grandmother is telling me that it's taken me quite a while to finally let her through. I'm literally hearing in my head right now, it's about time. So I feel like this kind of goes hand in hand. When I received a reading a while back from a medium, she told me that my grandmother had said that my mom is very closed off and doesn't see the messages that my grandmother leaves for her. So I feel by me opening up and reaching out, my grandmother is able to deliver to me messages, and I wish that I can pass them on to my mom. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I do feel like her showing me the Two of Swords is showing me that she's just basically saying, you know, you guys are too closed off and you need to let me through. So I think that the Two of Swords coming up is definitely confirming my grandmother. And it's kind of like a scolding. I feel like a scolding energy, just basically saying it's about time. It's time you finally, you know, let me through and are open to this. And, you know, it's just, that's cool. So I definitely can feel her present now. And just the Two of Swords, I also want to say, like, it's just making me think, like a reminder to, don't be so closed-minded. Don't be closed off, and don't close my heart. I do come from a very strict background, and I don't want to fall into that. I don't want to be a part of that. So I think that her confirming this is really it really does resonate with me because of a conversation I had earlier tonight, which I'm not going to go into. It's too personal, but I can see what she's trying to say here. So that's really cool. Number two, what impact did they have on me? The Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, one, I love that it's a mermaid. This is my grandma's way, I think, of showing me that, you know, I've always been fascinated with the ocean and mermaids. As a little girl, I used to tell myself that I was a mermaid in a past life. The Five of Cups shows how they impacted me. They rocked my world. I feel like my grandmother came into my life at a time where she knew I was going to be going through transition, and I really grabbed onto her. And I think by doing so, it shows that I was willing to rock the boat, and I was going to be going through a lot of times of just a lot of releasing emotions, letting things go, and seeing what happens. So I think the Five of Cups, for her to say, you know, what her impact is that she was just there as support, and there to kind of give me that push to really make some changes in my personal life and my personal way of beliefs. Number three, what can you learn from them? So I got the Moon in reverse. I love that it's the Moon card for one. The Moon card is very important to me. I resonate with it. It is the card that I feel explains who I am. I wish it would focus. There we go. The Moon card explains who I am, and my whole blog, my whole purpose of tarot and the business, it resonates with the moon. So the fact that she put it up in reverse, as for what I can learn from her, this stumps me a little bit, because I don't know if she's intending me to keep looking to her as a guide or what. I wish, if anyone was watching, if you can give me some ideas of what the moon in reverse can mean. This is exactly what I mean, and I'm glad that I'm posting this live, because I want you guys to know that as much as I read cards for a few years now, and as much as I love reading for clients, when I read for myself, I go brain dead. I get so stumped. So if anyone's watching this, the moon in reversed, as for what can I learn from her? What would this mean to you guys? I'm gonna have to look this up. The moon in reverse, because moon in reverse would be, I would say, as not being intuitive, not being open, not being closed off to mystery. But I don't know. I have to think about that. That's exactly my point, you guys. Reading for myself is just not my thing. That's why I purchase readings from readers that I actually trust and I love, because I trust them. I trust their opinions. I love purchasing readings from other tarot readers. So I have to think about that. I think I'm gonna journal about that to figure out what is my grandma trying to say here. Number 4, how do they communicate with you? I got the 4 of Cups in reversed. I think this means she actively communicates with me, that she's always communicating with me. She's always like that little voice in the back of my head. And the other thing I really want to point out is, let me turn this over. It's another mermaid card. It's another mermaid in the deck. And again, this is the Witch's Tarot, so there's not that many mermaids in this deck. But the fact that another mermaid came up as a form of communication, I think that my grandma is saying that she is a piece of all of the things in my life that are fairy tale, that my imagination, my openness, the things that make me different. I've always told myself that I am the black sheep in the family. And so I think that she's basically saying here that she is the one, when she communicates with me, she's the one that puts those interests in my heart. And she's the one whispering in my ear to tell me that it's okay to continue liking these things. And she's there to, give me peace and give me advice. I do feel like that's what she's saying right here for how do they communicate with me. She communicates with me through my interests, and obviously through the cards, but definitely through my interests and the things that are just a little bit different that, family and friends wouldn't understand. She's like all that mysticism. And number 5, what message are they giving you? The King of Cups in reversed. So this can mean a couple different things. I think, generally it can mean, what message are they giving you? Maybe not being so uptight. Oh, I don't know. The King of Cups. I have to look this up too. I have to really think about this. A lot of emotion though, and a lot of water. Cups, there's cups here, the moon, the mermaids. A lot of water coming through. My grandma is definitely, she's definitely showing me the love that I have for the ocean, the love I have for water. I feel like she's telling me that she wants me to continue dreaming and to continue striving to be different. She's telling me to stop worrying about the things that other people say, like to continue living in my dream world. I feel like that's the message she's really trying to give me. Because I do come from, like I said, a very strict background where a lot of people are very close-minded, very basic in their thoughts. And I'm more out there, I'm more in the clouds. And I think that she's just trying to tell me that it's okay to be like that. and just to remind me of how special, you know, that is to be different. But again, I am definitely going to have to look into the King of Cups and the Moon card in reverse for these two positions. Yeah. It's kind of funny when you do readings like this. I feel like emotional, like almost like I'm on the verge of wanting to cry. But I feel very at peace. So I just feel like that's her energy. That she's just around. It's just relaxing. But I just wish that I could figure out these two cards. So again, if anyone who's watching this, if you guys want to give me some input, the Moon in reverse came up for what can I learn from her? And then the King of Cups in reverse came up for what message is she giving me? So I'm definitely going to read up on those two cards and see what the cards say for specifically for the Witch's Tarot, because the Witch's Tarot I have the companion book for. And then I'll probably maybe not blog, but I'll probably just journal in my own personal journal about it and see what messages I get. But I just, like I said, I wanted to show you guys what it's like for me to read for myself, because as you can see, the energy of myself reading for myself is very different from the energy when I'm reading for others. Reading for others, it's easy for me to tap into energies and to read for people, but when I do it for myself, it's like a haze. Like I just can't connect, and I don't know why. So I have to take a step back and think about it. But I do see the pattern of the water and the mermaids, and it's just it's personal. It's definitely whoever, even if this isn't her, but I do feel it is. This is definitely a spirit that knows my interests and my background and me as a little girl and whatnot. So it's a very personal reading. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you guys for watching. This again, this is the Tapping into the Grave. This is the mini version of the full version that I have available in my shop. I'll put the link to my website in the description box, and my shop will be opening very, very, very soon. So I hope to see you guys again, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.